Gamers, we just saw the Microsoft conference, and it was surely something. The very first thing we saw was Halo, and it was fucking nice.
I have to say, it looks like a reboot for the series. They really stepped it up a notch from 3, although ODST and was a really good game. Reach was awesome also. So I'm taking that, and that's a positive outlook on the Halo series, trying to bring up their core gamers back to that franchise that they loved, but they're also taking them a step further.
I was actually surprised at how well it looked and how well the play was as they did it, because I didn't think that anybody could take over Bungie's whole formula and actually implement it correctly.
It being a new company, they really covered a lot of ground and did a little better, if you ask me, from their last show of what they had.
I mean, I fully expected for them to kind of come out with a bang, for this game to look really pretty. Come out with a bang. And
Bang, okay.
and I mean, all the devs, every single person that was on there was handpicked by Bungie, and I really fully expected for the game to really look good. So I was impressed like everybody else, but I was fully expecting for them to pull out something great.
You would hope so.
And the story looks like it's something that's actually gonna pan it differently and make it more centric on Master Chief and the things going on with him more than the galactic battle that's going on. So I don't know, that they look pretty good. And then they threw out another major title at us, which is Gears of War Juggernaut. Judgment.
Juggernaut. There wasn't really, huh? Oh, there wasn't really there wasn't really much to say about this. I mean, it was basically just your basic trailer to say, hey, here's another exclusive that we weren't ready to show. It's basically a prequel. Well, it's not basically a prequel. It is a prequel, and I don't think it's even gonna be Phoenix anymore. It's not gonna be Phoenix anymore, right?
No, it's the one character who everybody loved to hate because he's such a badass. So he's taking over as the main lead character in this game, and it looks like a good turnout. I think it's an interesting take on the story because it'll give you a new perspective on how they got to where they were.
I'm pretty sad that they're not putting Paul Phoenix back in there from Tekken.
That's pretty good.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
He's better.
He did Johnny Cash in part 2.
Before or after the breakdown?
Before. So yeah, that was pretty much it for Gears, and I don't know what to think.
And then they threw Forza Horizon at us, and well, you would expect a little bit more. Yes, we're still in the same gen, but let's see. The cars themselves, they look good. They didn't look great. They looked a little plasticky, kind of pastelish colors. They went with the palette there. I'm not judging them. But they did do an excellent job on the environments, and that's, you want to feel like you're driving. So if you have like a first-person view on that, it'll work. But I usually drive a third-person. But they did a good job on the game. They didn't show too much on it. They just have a little compilation of videos. No big things that really stood out about this. Just it's a new installment in their long-running series, and I don't know what you guys think about it. What do you guys?
I was gonna taken back by the fact that they focused mostly on the environments. I mean, it looked like they put a lot into it. No, they were, but the focus should have been more on the cars, in my opinion. I mean, because
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's a car game.
I mean, to be honest with you, that thing looked like it was put together at the last minute. It really did.
No, it did. But I mean, at least output what is going to be the centric visual thing on the game itself, which is the car.
Yeah, I mean, if you learn anything from Gran Turismo, is that the car is always the number one key feature, and everything else comes second.
Yeah, I mean, if you're driving on I personally, I don't care if they were basically driving on a line, as long as the car looked fucking awesome, I'll drive that fucking car.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that. Well, they do it well when they Forza Studio. I don't even know what they're called, but Forza, the people who make Forza, they do a good job with the cars. But sometimes they have a reputation of the cars looking a little bit too plasticky, and I think that's one thing that they had in this game that showed, and it looked like they put that together at the last minute, big time.
See, the thing is, they have Hot Wheels behind them, so they're trying to.
So yeah, look forward to Hot Wheels the game. And then after that, they pretty much started showing off the some of the smaller titles that are going to be released later on this year or next year. And the first one starting off with Ascend Old Gods, I believe. Or something?
New guys.
New Gods. Oh, they want new ones. They don't like the old ones anymore. They want the thrift store gods. Fuck those guys. Personally, when I saw it, the first thing I thought when I looked at it was this is just a blatant ripoff or copy and paste of Bloodforge, because with just a slightly new environment, because it didn't look any different.
Well, for me, it appealed to me too much because of all the ridiculously armored armor. I mean, the armor had armor. It's like the guy who works out too much and his abs have abs. Alright, the armor had armor, and it just looked too bulky, and the gameplay didn't really appeal to me. But personally, I wouldn't play the game. It did look like some people might like it. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, it wasn't a title that I was really interested either. It looked the gameplay looked too clunky also.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a ridiculously muscled up man that Cliff Bleszinski has wet dreams about.
No, I think you know what it's time for. Inception, boys.
No.
Cue Inception music!
Counter.
And then quickly after they showed us a pretty awesome title called Loco Cycle.
Local Cycle. They didn't show any gameplay or anything. They didn't even know what the game's about. They're like, oh, look, here's a motorcycle and it talks. And from the beginning, it kind of looked like Extreme G from the 64 times, which would have been a weird transfer from companies. But they didn't give us much to work on that. But it looked interesting. I don't know if it's a racing game or what they're doing.
It's made by Cholo Productions, right?
Cholo Productions made Loco Cycle porque es un way. But no, yeah, it's a subtitle. But then they showed us this other game called Matter.
That one was had a little bit of gameplay. It's a Kinect game, and it's coming out in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of the year. And it didn't really show that much gameplay. It was more CG than anything. But from what it seems, is you're gonna be this little fucking
eyeball bot
kinda
thing.
It looks like from Portal.
Yeah.
Because it started off as like a ball.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's gonna be something like Tetris, something like that, where you have to break blocks and stuff. Yeah, puzzle game. But that's about it with that. But it looked interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll see later on what they really developed that into, because they didn't really have much to show off except an eyeball dot thing with blocks everywhere.
Then we got Microsoft Smart Glass, which was a pretty cool thing that came out to confront, I guess you could say, they're gonna have a big old battle in space near the moon, with in the galaxy. Yeah, exactly. With the Wii U's pad controller. So what this does is you get to use your pads, be it iPad or etc.
Or Maxi.
Or Max. You can use your Maxi pads; those work better. I've heard. I don't know, but you can use your Microsoft phones, and you could it gives you little details on your games on the phones. There's on the pad you get extra. You view your stats. That's for gameplay. They had other stuff for movies. You could finish a movie, start your movie on the pad, finish your movie on the TV. Things that we've been doing for a while now. But overall, it looked pretty cool. They could play their cards right. This could be this. It's a slap at Nintendo, because I mean that's what they're playing at, and Microsoft is just doing it that much better than they are, as we've seen this far. But
well, the reason they're doing it much better is because they don't require any proprietary hardware in order to implement this into fruition.
The pad, I mean, you take it with you, you do what you do with it. Now you just have that add-on.
I think that's the biggest weakness so far for the Wii U, is that it shot itself in the foot by having proprietary hardware only. Proprietary. Papaya technology. Proprietary technology only, and really the stream is going to be held back by the fact that you have to keep buying pad after pad, and you can only buy 2 pads, and you're fucked after you have your third period. So no, but you're basically fucked after you get two of the game pads. So I think Microsoft did a good job with this, with the tiles, as I call them, and yeah, I think that was a good bitch slap for.
I think the best thing they introduced along with the glass thing was the fact that they were going to be able to finally use Internet Explorer on the whole system, and more importantly on the Microsoft Xbox. After 6 or 7 years after its release, they're finally going to get a web browser. So along with that integration, you're going to be able to use the web browser and use the pads and stuff as keyboards and stuff.
Hopefully that works flawlessly for them. Because I mean, it's nice to have that browser, guys. You should enjoy it. You don't have to get up or have anything near you other than your remote.
So that's one thing to look forward to within the next coming months.